What's up, y'all? Thanks for stopping by the Surge T channel. In this video, I will be going over the AEW Dynamite Fight for the Fallen. This is my rundown and thoughts. Let's get into it. It's Fight for the Fallen, or JR says Fallings. Heard it clearly. Now, let's go to the 10-man elimination tag match. The Elite versus Hangman and the Dark Order. And the Elite are fucking cornballs. That intro, that entrance that they did, man, they don't entertain me. They annoy me. They aggravate me. They're the worst. Let's go into the eliminations. Alex Reynolds is eliminated by Carl Anderson with a roll-up. A 5-4 Elite advantage. Evil Uno eliminates Carl Anderson, and the Dark Order tied up with 4-4. Grayson and Doc Gallows, they start fighting in the audience, they start fighting in the crowd, and they're counted out and eliminated, and it is all tied up at 3-3. Kenny Omega eliminates Evil Uno with the one-winged angel, and the Elite regain the advantage, making it 3-2. The Young Bucks are Botchamania approved. But hey, they eliminate Silver, and now we're up 3-1. They did a thing where they set up a little basketball that they brought out, that basketball rim, and what was it, one of the Bucks come off the top rope, and they go to looking like they're going to slam dunk a ball, but he totally misses the thing, and then he ends up, because one of the Bucks had what do you call it, Silver, in the power driver position, that assisted power driver they do. And like I said, they're now tied up 3-1. That was an awful spot. Looks stupid. Hangman, next he pins Matt Jackson, thank God, after hitting the buckshot lariat on both guys, both of the Bucks, and then he pins Matt Jackson. And Hangman edges closer to winning this because now it's 2-1. Was he going to make a run and he's going to go through all three of the champs? He took out one. But in the end, the Elite win with a belt across one of the championship belts across his face. And then Kenny Omega hits the one-winged angel. Now Hangman has to vacate the number 1 ranking, and Dark Order will not receive a tag team title shot. And of course, Hangman won't get that world title shot, the elusive world title shot. Somehow, some reason, they're not giving him the title shot. He's been number 1 for as long as I can remember. So is there something going on? Are they trying to prolong the pain of his fans and everybody wanting him to be a world champion? Maybe eventually he will, but they're prolonging the wait, I guess. Now, FTW champion celebration, and who fucking cares? I hope Brian Cage annihilates Team Taz, but he crashes the party, and then the whole segment was still a fizzle. It's like, who cares? I don't know. I'm glad that Brian Cage is no longer a part of them, because he doesn't belong in Team Taz. No, in all honesty, he needs to be by himself, kicking everybody's ass, taking out the whole locker room, on his way to the world title. Now, Hiroshi Tanahashi is eyeing the IWGP US title, and he wants the winner of tonight's title match. Now let's go to tag team action in FTW versus Santana and Ortiz. In the end, we see a brainbuster by Harwood on Ortiz, and FTW get the pin. Very good match, very hard hitting. I love when these two guys, well, it's funny because this is the first time they've ever wrestled, faced each other. But individually, as teams, when they face some of the other people, you know what they bring. So in this match, they brought a lot to the table, and it was a very, very good match. But in the end, FTW won. Not FTW, FTR won. Too many FTs. FTW, FTR, Now, the women's champ, Dr. Britt Baker, addresses everyone. Says for everyone to prepare to suffocate, courtesy of Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. Hmm. I mean, who's going to be her next opponent, right? I know. That'll probably be the one that she's talking to, and then that person might beat her. I mean, I want to see who the next person is. How about Kawashida? Where's she been? Now, special announcement. You hear Tony Schiavone and Rampage, which is going to be emanating from the United Center in Chicago, is entitled "The First Dance." That's their Rampage's special event, special name. Like how they've been naming Dynamite, the Fighter Fest and Tonight Show, Fight for the Fallen. Next week's going to be, Homecoming. But it's going to be in Chi-Town. It's going to be in Chicago, and Darby Allin and Sting are asked, hey, what do you think? Now, Darby Allin minces no words, and he's like, prove yourself to be the greatest. And there is only one place to prove that, and that is in AEW, even if you think you are the best in the world. And is that a wink wink that's aimed at CM Punk? I've seen all these thumbnails and all of these things that say that CM Punk is coming to AEW. He's been signed. Even Brian, Brian Daniels said, I don't know if he's not going to be known as Daniel Bryan, if he was signed as well. Is AJ Lee or April Brooks going to be behind her husband coming to AEW as well? I thought they were going to make an announcement here or something, or maybe the announcement was made on these other wrestling channels or these other YouTube channels. It would be a great get, but is that what Darby Allin is saying? He wants to take on CM Punk. That'd be a match. That'd be something. Great way for Punk to come back and be able to see if he is able to still compete against the elite. No pun intended. Not talking about the elite, but the upper echelon of AEW, and this great young talent that they have. We'll see. Now, Hikuleo is accompanied by his dad, Legend Haku. I don't know why they call him King Haku. King Haku is his name in WWE when he became the king. When he beat Harley Race for that in WWE. I don't know if he goes by that in New Japan. But King Haku, but he accompanies him as his son is going to be facing the reigning IWGP US champ Lance Archer. In the end, a blackout is delivered, and Hikuleo is pinned. A pretty underwhelming effort on Hikuleo's part, but it's pretty much how he was booked. I don't think he's that awful or that bad, but I think that he wasn't going to win. They showed a little bit of what he can do, but for me, it wasn't enough. I want to see more. Maybe I will start watching, New Japan. If I can find where I can get it, and watch it. Because the guy's impressive. He's like 6'10". How much does he weigh? About 280, something like that. And him and his brother Tama Tonga, they're coming from some great bloodline when it comes to their dad. So that these guys have to be impressive in the ring. I've seen a lot of Tama Tongas, but I haven't seen his brother Hikuleo. Tama Tonga, he was in WWE before. So it's like, I've seen him, but I haven't seen his brother. But hopefully this doesn't reflect how he is in the ring, because it was a pretty lackluster effort. I just got to say. But like I said, I'm not blaming him. I'm just blaming on how the match was booked, how it was set up and everything. But it was made for, Lance Archer to win. So that's that. Now Malachi Black, he attacks Cody as Cody is sitting with Tony Khan and another person backstage right there. Mic set up and all that stuff. You see the sign says EVP and stuff like that. So they're sitting there. They're probably doing interviews. They're probably doing something there. And then Malachi Black don't give a fuck. He takes Cody, and he's laying him out and leaving him on the stage on his back. All these wrestlers come out, and he's like this, like back up. He's backing up like, okay, all right. And then he just pulls Fuego del Sol and spins him around and delivers a Black Mass, that kick. Don't know what it's called in AEW, but it's known as Black Mass. His kick, that spinning kick. Very impressive. He's earned him so many victories, that kick of his, and it's really heating up, folks. Next week is when they're going to. It's going to go down next week between Cody and Malachi Black. So let's see how that match goes, and I know it's going to be a banger. And as he does that, well, when he laid him out, he says, "Welcome to the House of Black." Yep, I'm telling you, it's just going to be his house. AEW is going to be his. He's going to have it like this, and no one is going to be able to knock him off that perch for a while, anyway. Now, the TNT Championship is on the line versus Lee Johnson, and Miro says that he is motivated by a vengeful god and a double jointed wife. Okay. Yeah, we know Lana, or CJ Perry. We know how she is, how flexible she is, and God bless Miro, because, we know what he's talking about. We know what he's alluding to. And, more power to him. But wondering she's going to show up, because I would love to see her, because she's one of my people that I liked. I liked her progress in WWE, how she was progressing, getting better and better in the ring. They let her go. She's going to probably be popping up soon. She's probably on that 90-day no compete clause, so we'll see. Now, HFO, the Hardy Family Office, still one of the dumbest names for a faction. They just call them HFO. At least there's a little bit of coolness in that. And they're in trios action. It's Angelico and Private Party, and they take on Jurassic Express and Christian Cage. And I love hearing Christian Cage's music, his theme music. I love that theme music he had from TNA, Impact, and he uses it now in AEW. It's awesome. In the end, we see a chokeslam by Luchasaurus, followed up by a frog splash by Christian Cage, and his team gets the Duke. But Christian Cage is decked, knocked out by Blade with the brass knucks again. Here we go with the brass knucks. Guy's causing some havoc with them brass knucks. I don't know. So we'll see what happens with that. Now, Julia Hart with the Varsity Blondes faces Thunder Rosa. I like both women. Julia Hart's a cutie. Thunder Rosa she's the bomb. Both these women put out a decent match. It wasn't anything to kind of make your eyes go whoa. But it was just a match just to continue to show what Julia Hart can do, and then also show the out and out incredible wrestling, acumen and ability and talent that Thunder Rosa has. And this is her first official match, as she has signed with AEW officially, and she is now part of the roster, and that's awesome. And in the end, Fire Thunder Driver by Thunder Rosa on Julia Hart, and she picks up the victory. Julia Hart really doesn't have a lot of energy, and she has a lot of talent. She does, you can see it. She's a little bit too wound up. She's a little bit too into the crowd. There's nothing wrong with that. Like JR said, nothing wrong with that. But when you're in there with Thunder Rosa, you better focus on that, girl. You better focus on that. And then maybe when you get her down for some time, like that, maybe you could start celebrating. But Thunder Rosa wasn't even out yet. She wasn't even knocked down or anything, and she's celebrating. The fans love her. They love Thunder Rosa too. Her music hit, they popped like a mug. So the match was okay. Hey, for what it was a good match. I'm not going to say nothing bad about it. Of course not. But let's go to the AEW Dynamite Homecoming. We got the matches announced. It's coming next week. And first we have Malachi Black versus Cody Rhodes. Then we have Miro defending the TNT title against Lee Johnson, the Bunny, versus Legit Layla Hirsch in a championship eliminator match for a spot, or a shot I should say, at the NWA Women's Championship. I was thinking to myself, here we go again. They're going away from the number one contenders and they're giving someone else a shot, but it's not for the AEW Women's title. Okay, that's cool. And then we have Christian Cage versus Blade. This match should be a brass knucks match. You know what I'm saying? Blade be coming down with a damn what do you call that? A brass knucks. It's kind of an unfair advantage, man. Especially because he always keeps thing. So you'll negate that advantage he has if you have Christian Cage have one some as well. You know, make it like that. Make it. It'll be an interesting match. Just a regular one-on-one match. You know, something like that. It'll be more enhanced if you put a brass knucks. Maybe brass knucks. You know, you take a ladder and there's brass knucks raised up a thing. Whoever gets it can use it. You know, that's simple. We've seen that something like that before, but whatever. You know, it'll make it more interesting. Now we look at Don Moxley. Don't know if he was in the area or if it was filmed elsewhere, wherever it was. But he's talking about Tanahashi, who challenged the winner, whoever wins the IWGP US title match. He's next in line. But he goes after Tanahashi, saying that, you know, when I was champion, man, you're ducking me. All this stuff, you know. He's talking about sending his contracts and something like that. He sends it over to them in New Japan. They send it back to him, not signed or anything like that. And then, in his words, he's gunning for not only Tanahashi but his boys. So I think they need to put their head on a swivel because John Moxley is coming for him, and we'll see about that. Anything that John Moxley does, I'm up for it. I can't wait to see what he's going to do. You know, once he returns to New Japan. But let's go to the main event. A bit much. I'm starting to get tired of it. I was starting to hate the match. But it's the Painmaker Chris Jericho versus Nick Gage in a second labor of Jericho match, and it's a no DQ match. And Justin Roberts' intro of Nick Gage took just as long as the crowd singing the entrance music for Jericho. It's like he was saying all these words, these adjectives to describe the guy. I'm going, shut the fuck up and just go introduce the guy already. You know what I mean? And tell you, Nick Gage, he's got a face that only a mother would love. I don't know, man. The guy was talking. I'm going, dude, don't talk. Don't talk. I think it's better when you just use your words. I mean, yeah, use your words, but use your actions. Because your actions speak louder than your words. I don't want to look at him talking. Seriously. Fucked up grill, everything else. I mean, dude, just wrestle. Just wrestle, please. Just wrestle. And, yep, it's bloody, barbaric, and destructive. A pizza cutter slicing open Jericho's right arm. That was introduced right away. Fluorescent light bulbs or light tubes. And then Floyd the Bat was introduced, and they both collided. And then another pizza cutter. Jeez, man, like, and Jericho's forehead is sliced over and over again. I don't know if that thing was dull and he was just pretending to, because I don't know if Jericho wants to, you know, have those kind of cuts. I don't think he wants to be all like that much. I mean, cut up, sure, but like that, you know, because them guys wrestle like they got nothing to lose in those death matches, which I don't have any kind of desire to watch. I could watch a few minutes of it. Okay, kind of different, but you know, I was just like Jr. Man, just end the match already, you know, because all of the gore and everything like that. It's like, you know, if I want to see that, I'll watch a horror movie. I'll watch Saw. I'll watch some other shit. You know what I mean? But Gage was setting up at one point. He was setting up the pane of glass on 2 chairs. He was looking to throw himself on it with Jericho underneath, so I guess he gets all the shards of glass on his face and everything like that. But Jericho hits a Hurricane Rana on Gage and sends him through the pane of glass that was set up on 2 chairs, and you see people in the audience going like this, like I think the glass hit them. And then after that, you know, after all the barbaric action and everything that was just, you know, making you want to just say stop already, you know, because it's just a bit much. But then, you know, he has these 2 huge, or 2 or 3, what was it, 2, maybe 2 huge light tubes. Then Jericho spits in his face. I don't know if it was a mist or something like that. He takes those and he nails Nick Gage over his head, the top of his head, and dropping him. And then he hits a pile driver. Well, what am I doing? What am I talking about? Well, no. I'm kind of going like ahead with that, because Nick Gage was, you know, he was grabbing all those light tubes, hitting Jericho, you know, with them, you know, and Jericho's going like this and shaking it, because when you hit with those things, it like stings and it like has the, you know, it's like all the stuff that's in it. So Jericho's like, he's taking 2 of them, you know, being broken over him. and then he gets pile driven, but he's still surviving. He's still, going. And I'm beginning to hate this match. Like I said earlier, at this point, I started beginning to hate the match. And then eventually, you know, he hits the Judas effect after nailing Gage with two huge light tubes. And Gage actually introduced into the ring. These were huge. They were like 2 or 3 or 4 times the size of the ones he had earlier. He nails him over the head, smashing him over his head. Sets him up for the Judas effect, and then he gets the pin. And then what's his name comes out, MJF, and says, hold on. Labor number 3 is with someone who, and he talks about like going back and showing footage, and MJF did not know who Juventud Guerrero was. Who's a Hoovy? He Googles it because Jericho says at that time, Jericho says, Google it, and it goes back to him in present time. He says, yeah, I did Google it, and I'm going to bring somebody who's an old bitter foe of yours, and it's Juventud Guerrero returning to TNT after 15 years. And he said in the third labor of Jericho, he said that you're gonna have to hit a move off the top rope. I thought that was the stipulation. But he says that he's saying that because he's gonna go against a high flyer in Juventud Guerrero, a guy who's very controversial. He's done a lot of stuff that pissed a lot of people off. He used to be a guy that would shit in people's bags and stuff like that, wrestlers and all that stuff. He would do disgusting shit like that, and he really wasn't a favorite in the locker rooms from what I read and heard over the years. And I haven't seen that guy wrestle for like probably 20 years, so I don't know. Yeah, I know he still wrestles, but let's see how he is. Can he still fly like he used to? Because he's a talented guy. He was one of those guys. He was in the the LWO, right? The Latino World Order. He was part of the cruiserweight division in WCW that revolutionized pretty much Mexican wrestling and cruiserweights when they came on the scene. And we'll see what happens with that match. That's going to be a less cringy match, and something that's not relying on all this destruction and all this brutality and all that stuff. Sometimes I don't really want to watch that kind of shit, especially not with the extent of what this match was. Was it a great match for what it was, for a death match type of thing? Whatever. Yeah, okay, yeah, something different. At least it's something that delivered in the sense of the brutality and the blood and all that stuff. AEW finally delivered on a match that they said they were going to have. It was just like those death matches you see that Nick Gage competes in. So I guess, yeah, they succeeded in presenting a main event that had people's eyes open and had people going, shit, the fuck, holy crap, is Jericho okay? He's all bloody, worrying about him and waiting for him to get the pin and just to end this damn match, because it really was hard to watch at times. But hey, you get what you buy, you get what you pay for, even though you don't pay for it, but you get what you watch. So that's what it is. So, but anyway, this event was good. I loved it. I think it's better than even the Fyter Fest. I think it was pretty good, pretty decent. And I enjoyed it. And I love these special shows, these special titles for every Dynamite that they have. And now Rampage even has one now with what's the name of the Rampage's thing? The First Dance. Yeah, okay. At least they got a title on it. I don't know if that's a thing, but Rampage is coming on and the 11th, and then 20th. That's when they're gonna have that special event, the First Dance. So anyway, that's my video for Fight for the Fallen, AEW Dynamite Fight for the Fallen. I enjoyed the event. I enjoyed the show, and the main event, gotta admit that it was entertaining, but very brutal, and at times I wanted it to stop because it was just, you're just worried about Jericho, and you go, God damn, man, he's getting sliced up. But we'll see how he looks next week. I don't know. He's gonna be all bandaged up and everything like that. Is he gonna be able to wrestle? Is he gonna be in pain? You know what I mean? But it's all because he wants to get MJF. He gets through all these labors of Jericho, and then he got MJF. And yeah. Anyway, that's my video. So for those of you who stopped by, checked it out, appreciate it. And in closing, as always, take care.